Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Charlestown Sanitary Sewer Board. Today's July 6th, 2023. It is 10 a.m. We'll begin as our custom with a statement of the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd like to join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll do our roll call. Nathan Grimes.
Present.
And then we'll let the record show that Ryan Hoskins is joining us via Zoom. Mayor Hodges is present, as well as Clerk Treasurer Donna Coomer and our council, Bo Zeller. Because we do have one member participating by Zoom, all votes at this meeting will be done by roll call vote. We have an agenda that's been provided to entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve as presented.
I have a motion by Nathan.
I'll second.
A second by Ryan. Any edits? Hearing none, we'll do roll call. Nathan?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so it's unanimous. We have our standing business, which includes our meeting minutes from our meeting on June 15th, our current claims, and our payroll allowance docket from June 11th to July 1st. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve as presented.
Nathan Grimes makes a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Second by Ryan. Roll call vote. Nathan?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that's approved unanimously. Anybody, I don't see any public comment, nobody signed up. Under old business, Lori, are you presenting the bid award recommendation?
If we could come back to that in about 3 minutes, that
Okay.
would be great.
All right, so we will hold that for just a minute for the person who's coming to make that presentation. I'm going to bring a little bit behind. Moving on to new business, Tim, if you want to go ahead and come up and do your operator report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wish I was where you were, Brian. The first thing I have for the board this morning is the monthly report for the month of May. Again, pleased to report to the board that the facility is running 100% compliant. A lot of activity's been going on. The one thing I did omit in the report is you'll see in the biosolids removal for the month of May, it was a little less than 90 tons removed. That's 89.37. That will be put into the calculation next month for the running total, the year-to-date total at the end. Other than that, the training that we've done this last month was actually for a neighboring community. Georgetown come down and asked us to show them how to operate Ziptility. Really makes us feel good that we're able to provide some support to surrounding communities rather than being the one asking for that support. That was a pleasant thing for us. So, but again, overall compliance was very, very good. It was an average month for rain until the end. We ended up with about 2.58 inches of rain for the month, no overflows. If there's no questions on that, I can move on to the next.
How have we been handling this this past weekend? We had quite a bit, so
No overflows.
we're handling everything well.
No overflows. Yes, ma'am. Right now, we have one clarifier down for some maintenance issues that we're looking at, but we anticipate to have that up by the end of today. And even if it were to rain, we're pretty confident we still have no problem with just even one clarifier.
Okay, great.
So, moving to the next item, it will be the item that I did try to get out to everybody yesterday. I'm assuming all seen the memo. I know Nathan said he's got it. I know the mayor got it. Was you able to review it, Ryan?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, what this memo consists of, if you recall and think back in the agreed order, we have one of our requirements is to clean out the Spring Street lift station retention basin. And Lori with JTL and I have been working on this for quite a few weeks now. I did supply the board, and Ryan, when you return, you'll see some supporting documentation of the, of the numbers that are in that memo. With that being said, and of the 3 quotes that we got, Robinson Pipeline Cleaning is overall low on this. I think again, Lori and I spoke, I think their methods are going to be acceptable. So I would ask the board today to consider that for approval and give us approval to contact Robinson and get that done. We need to have that done by the end of September. I
Can
really
you-
don't. Go
Tim,
ahead.
can you just read out the quote, the name of the place where you got the quote and the quote, so that we can have that reflected in the minutes?
Yes, the first quote that we have is Robinson Pipe Cleaning. They quoted the basin cleaning actually based on an hourly rate of $475 with an estimated time to do so at 40 hours. That actually comes out to $19,500, and then they have a $500 lump sum for materials, which makes it that $20,000 that I referenced in the memo. The second quote that we received was from Dan Christiani Excavating. The sludge removal, and this is where it's just a little bit different. They quoted within the removal of the old liner is at $75,700. Now, I'd like to explain what our goal here is to clean that basin out, evaluate the liner. We're not required by agreed order to replace the liner. That is something we've been talking about internally. So taking that in consideration and their quote of about $75,700, again, Lori and I worked and tried to compare the quotes apples to apples. I still think that Robinson is your better avenue. The third quote that we received is from a company by the name of Spectrum. Now, Spectrum's quote, and I know, and I apologize, you did probably get to look at the quote itself very much prior today or any at all, and it's a very complicated quote. And in looking at this quote, Lori and I had to take a little bit of time to do so. On the first page, which is primarily the cleaning and removal of the solids in the basin, is a little over, it's $95,795.64. But you go to the second page and you get into a section for labor, which is an additional $40,000.77. So you take those two, you're looking at, let's see, it's well over $100,000. I'm sorry, my calculator in my head's not working that
Hold
well
on,
this
I'll get it
morning.
calculated so we have an exact total.
So with that and the summary of that, again, we would recommend approval to allow Robinson to move forward with the project.
So that totals $135,873.56.
Thank you.
For Spectrum Water
Spectrum.
Technology. So we have 3 quotes that were received in total. Robinson Pipe Cleaning at $20,000, Dan Christiani Excavating at $75,700, and Spectrum Water Technology at $135,873.56. So it's staff recommendation that we go with Robinson Pipe Cleaning at $20,000. With that's not a not to exceed
That is
amount,
not a not to
however, that
exceed
is
at this
based
time.
on the hourly rate
Yes.
of the $475 per hour, and I believe it'll take 40 hours.
That's correct.
Okay. Are you comfortable that if it was more than the 40 hours, that
We
it
would
still
still
would
be
not
under the
exceed, it would
others,
still be
yes.
under the other two?
Yes, ma'am, and that is why we come to the conclusion we
Okay.
come to.
All right. And then at that point, I'm assuming we will evaluate that liner once it's cleaned.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we've already started the process of getting quotes to replace that liner if deemed necessary.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to approve Robinson Pipe Cleaning rate of $475 per hour for approximate 40 hours with an additional 500, yep.
Ryan lost connection.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
It's okay.
We still have a majority of board, so we
Yeah.
can continue.
I just want to let you know.
Just let the record note that Ryan has lost connection and is currently not in the meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve Robinson's pipe cleaning proposal.
I'll second that. Any other questions, Nathan, for
Not
Tim on
tonight.
this? All right. I guess we'll still do roll call since he's technically not caught back in, so Nathan,
Yes.
and it's a yes from me, we'll just show that Ryan's an abstention because he's not currently with us. So it's approved.
Here's back.
There he is.
There he is. Ryan, we were holding the vote, we lost you, we were getting ready to hold the vote on Robinson, did you have any comments on that?
I did not, sorry about that.
Okay, so Nathan and I both said yes on approving that.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a unanimous yes from all three of us. We're making the minutes for Heather incredibly fun this time. I'm trying to do my best to give you all the numbers, Heather. All right, so that one's been approved. Anything else, Tim?
Yes, one last
Okay.
item. Before you, you have a quote from Temple & Temple Excavating. A little bit of the backstory before I actually get into the quote itself is, last week, the guys were out cleaning and flushing the line with the flush truck. And all of a sudden, they look back and there's water running out of the big tank. And if you've seen the truck, it has a big tank on it that holds the water. Well, we get it back to the facility, and the truck has enough age on it that the tank is made of steel and it's rusted on the inside and it is starting to rust through. So we have temporarily fixed the truck. The truck is up and running, will run for a while. With that being said, to say that this needs to be done today, no, it absolutely does not, but I did want to prep the board, at least give them an idea, because this is kind of a new concept that we've worked with this particular contractor with. You may or may not be aware of that there are companies out there that rehab manholes by lining them with either a viscous rubberized type coating, or there are some companies out there that have a cementatious or a hard type coating that increases the integrity of the manhole. I digress from that. But anyway, we've asked Temple & Temple, because they do this work, if they could line the tank of the truck. And we worked with those guys over there, and they believe that they can. I believe that if we do this, that we can get multiple more years of service out of this truck without having to consider a new one. So with that being said, what I have before you today is a proposal to do exactly that, which is line the tank of that truck in the amount of $9,680, because we would take the truck to them and not have them come to us. You can take it under consideration. Like I said, this is not an emergency situation.
Is there a preferred pathway from other board members? I mean, I would personally like to see this repaired. I mean, it's a pretty essential piece of equipment.
Very essential, yes.
So,
Yeah, what's the price of the truck? 300,000,
Yeah,
or
I'm
something?
sure.
300,
Yeah.
yeah, 300 plus.
Very,
Ryan, do you have any feelings on that?
I don't see why we need to kick the can down the road. If it needs it, let's get it done.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve Temple & Temple Excavating and Paving to replace the liner of the back truck in the amount of $9,680.
I'll make that
I
motion.
have a motion from Nathan,
I'll second.
second from Ryan. Any other questions before we do roll call vote? Nathan?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
And it's a yes for me. Move forward.
That is all I have, Heather. I know I've made her job hard, but thank the board very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim. And then we have our engineering report.
Yes.
Okay,
And then we'll
take that. Okay.
just a few updates for you guys. As I say, in the lines with the agreed order, we did submit your Q2 report on time. They confirmed receipt. And so we will be glad to, for Q3, be able to update that with the progress now for the Spring Street Basin.
Great.
That's exciting. To add on to what Tim said about the Robinson quote, when we did the math and figured out hourly, they would have to actually work 150 hours
Okay.
to meet the next quote.
Okay, great.
So, I am confident that they will not do that. So, we were good with that. For the Indiana American Discharge, I do believe that they have now delivered pipe to the site, and so they should be beginning construction soon. And we just continue to work with Tim on coordination with that and on the Indiana American side as well. The Sanitary Sewer Service Area Alternatives Evaluation Report, the additional alternative that was requested, that review is underway, and we're hoping to have that finished pretty soon. And I think that may be all of the other updates for you guys, with the exception of the recommendation that Jim is going to present to you. And so, are there any questions for me otherwise?
Any questions for Lori outside of the upcoming bid award?
Not for me.
And if not, then Jim is here.
All right, with that. So we'll pop back up to old business and call up Jim Haggerty, and he'll make the presentation on the recommended award.
If I don't.
It's
break
okay.
my neck.
It's okay. I'll get it.
She done it on purpose. She
I'll get it.
She did.
I'll get it. Do you have copies?
Yeah, okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll get it out here. Here. Good morning. Here's the original signed copy. Brian. Yeah, if you want to have one for Ryan, I'll leave that there. All right, good morning. This is, just seems like the other day you were authorizing us to approve to go forward with the design. The next major step of the award of the contract, or notice of intent to award on that. I'll briefly go through the memorandum here. We received two bids, one from Pace Contracting for $39,878,000, and another one from Dugan and Myers for $39,929,000. They were separated by a cost of $51,000. The engineer's estimate was $37.7 million. Their numbers came in around a little over 4% higher in our number than our estimate. Discussions with equipment suppliers and with the contractors, we think the areas where we were a little light was in the yard piping and the components that had high compositions of stainless steel and carbon steel metal. Those prices have continued to escalate, and I think that's where we were a little low in our cost estimates in there in the bid evaluation. The contractors included deductive alternates for three items. We based the deductive alternates were around $570,000. So if the city, and we will have discussions later on, take these deductive alternates, the lowest bidder would be $39,308,000. Based on that, the bid tabulation is attached to the back of this document, and you can see, and I highlighted in there in bold, the lower bidders on that. Pace was the low bidder, both on the base bid as well as if we take the deductions, they're still the low bidder by $7,000. We reviewed the bid qualifications, the equipment to confirm conformance with the advertisement of bid, also with the instructions and the bid form and bid bonds, and we were satisfied that both contractors met the intent of the bid and satisfactorily provided all the information requested and did the bids consistent with SRF requirements. So with that, and we have reviewed their qualifications. JTL, we've worked with both contractors on several projects, and their performance has been satisfactory. Their superintendent qualifications met the requirements of the job, and we believe that both contractors have the ability to perform the work satisfactorily and deliver the city a good project. With that, in summary, our review of the bids submitted and the supplemental information we provided, we're recommending award to Pace Contracting LLC in the sum of $39,878,000. The contract documents have two procedures, and this is also contingent on city council and approval of SRF, financing approval of the job. In our contract documents, we have two notices of intent to award. One is the notice of intent to award based on city council and funding approval. I wasn't sure, Mayor, if that you wanted to wait on that approval of this notice, signing of that until that.
Yeah, we'll wait till,
Yeah, and then I can,
I'm gonna give these to you to bring to the council meeting, so for us to follow that with the council. So
yeah.
we'll let you know.
Yeah, and then we could, because I think the schedule right now is to make a presentation on Monday to city council. We'll do very similar presentation to city council, and at that point, we'll take directions on how you want us to proceed.
Great. So I'm looking for a motion to formally recommend the award for the
Notice of
wastewater
intent to
construction
award, yeah.
bid and the notice of intent. Be moved forward to the city council, which meets on Monday the 10th at 6:30. Award to Pace in the amount of $39,878,000, pending, of course, SRF funding. So basically, we're just making the recommendation to the council.
Or
I'll make that motion.
Okay. So we motion for the whole thing, not any of the deductions at this point in time?
At this point in time, yes, because we're waiting to see how our funding, it's all pending funding. So the only, since Pace is the low bidder across the board, whether the deductions are there or not, we are making a recommendation that we move
Sure.
forward with Pace and with the intent to award. And then once everything is finalized through the funding, and that is part of the conversation that is happening Monday night at the council meeting. So not only will they receive a recommendation from us to make this official award, pending the rest of funding, they will also be having a workshop on their funding options and making decisions in the next coming weeks on that.
I'll second. Right.
So I have a motion from Ryan and a second from Nathan. Are there any other questions on this?
Just for clarity, what's the exact motion?
So the exact motion is that we make the recommendation that the city council provide notice of intent of award to Pace Contracting in the amount of $39,878,000. So,
I think I would make the motion, I would just make the motion to award the bid to Pace contingent upon council and funding agency approval.
okay, so we can reword that, Heather. The official motion is that we will award the contract to Pace in the amount of $39,878,000 pending city council approval and final funding from the SRF. So that is a motion on the table.
Yes, yes,
We have a first from Ryan, we have a second from Nathan, so we'll call for a roll call vote.
yes.
Nathan's a yes,
Yes.
Ryan's a yes, I'm a yes, that's unanimous.
Thank
And
you.
we'll take that forward to the council on Monday night, and keep moving
And
forward.
we'll have a memo
Yep.
similar to them, and then noting that you all approved it and any other direction you have.
Great.
All right, thank you.
It's been a long process, so thank you to JTL, thank you to all of the people who participated, and all the companies, not only in the pre-bid meeting, but also in reviewing the documents, and then for our two companies that submitted. We really appreciate it. We know that there's a lot of work that goes into even just putting a bid together of this magnitude. And so we're thankful to everybody who's participated in that. Are there any other matters that need to come before the board, right? Donna or Bo?
Nothing to me.
Okay. Hearing none, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Nathan,
Second.
second from Ryan. Surely we can do an all in favor on adjourn. Nathan, are you a yes?
Yes.
Ryan, are you a yes?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, yes, so we're adjourned. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.